And I'm Siobhan Barrett.
And we are driving the Fosterville Mobile Coffee Shop across the country on a project called Ground Support USA. A few years ago, I moved to this amazing old farming town in upstate New York called Bovina. It's truly beautiful. The only problem is there's no coffee shops within miles, and I love coffee. I also happen to love to build things. So I actually started a micro roasting business up here and built a small mobile coffee shop called Fosterville Coffee. I take it everywhere. I quickly met a bunch of amazing farmers and artists and people with small businesses in the community. When I first moved to Bovina, a lot of them didn't really know each other, and they do amazing things and they have amazing crafts and make awesome stuff. I was intrigued. I'm a filmmaker. I made little profile videos about them. Then I was like, well, that's not enough. We need to make an actual day to really, let people come up and experience it. So I gathered a bunch of them together and started an event called the Bovina Open Barn and Studio. Farmers and artists open their homes to us and show us how they make their stuff, basically. We've been doing the tour now for 4 years. It's grown each year, and it's truly connected us together as a community.
A year ago, yesterday, I didn't know anybody else in this town, and I've been here for 30 years, and it's because of you. And I think we have all benefited, and I'm indebted to you. I mean, it's great.
That got me thinking one step further. I wondered what other people are doing in towns across America to make positive impacts on their own communities. So Siobhan and I packed up the Fosterville Mobile Coffee Shop and hit the road. We wanted to see some of these people. We wanted to meet some of these people. That was the beginning of Ground Support USA. First stop, 936 miles away, Nashville, Tennessee. Right now we're going to visit with Steve Lee. His community is kids. He plays music for kids and teaches through the power of music. Steve Lee.
Hello.
I am Mark.
Pleasure to meet you, Mark.
Nice to meet you too.
This is great.
Yeah, this is Siobhan.
Hey, Siobhan.
Hey guys.
This is a very important song. This is a song of the times. This is a song called Don't Text and Drive. If you're in the car, it doesn't matter how far. Don't text and drive. Children's music in general is not very good. Like, just not. It's bad. Newsflash. If anything, it's more important to bring high quality musicianship to children than anyone else. This is how and I feel good. Any morning with music is a great morning. Every Thursday we have a kids morning show called The Early Birds with Mr. Steve. Good morning, Nashville. Mr. Steve, and you are listening to The Early Birds with Mr. Steve, the only show for kids and the kids at heart. I don't talk down to kids. I talk to them like I'm talking to you right now on the camera, like the people. That connects with kids because they know that I look at them as an equal. You can teach kids about love, and you can teach them about taking care of each other, and teach them about friendship. I'm just trying to teach the kids to love music, and I think that really helps set up joy and fun. It's about trees. I think that's the beauty of music, and especially with children, because when music hits and they feel it, and they're gonna dance, and they just come alive. Go Earth! It's really powerful.
Lightning 100! So right now we're going to meet with a guy named Alan Powell who started a food hub and basically delivers fresh local foods from farms to restaurants locally every day.
I'm Alan Powell. I started and run Nashville Grown, which is a food hub. I don't like to keep tomatoes in the fridge. Our job is to make it easier for the wholesale buyers of produce to get stuff from multiple sources with greater ease.
100 miles an hour,
What I want to do is help the farms. So many farmers have to work a second job off a farm in order to pay their bills. And with the amount of work that it takes to be a farmer, that just seemed absurd to me. More and more we'll fill up these bins until we are just jam-packed and ready to deliver. We are moving out into the world to start picking up produce from various farms around Nashville. We do what's called production planning, where we set up a farmer and a restaurant together to make sure that the restaurant's getting the items that they need, grown in the way that they want, with the size that they want, and all of their specifications they might talk about. That takes a lot of the risk, or the feeling of risk, out of what we're all doing. I came to work with the Grilled Cheesery last season, and they were trying to figure out how to source tomatoes in the wintertime, and I started working with a hydroponic grower in southern Kentucky.
Our vendors were like the most important people that we needed to get on board, because basically, like, the bread and cheese part, like, we needed to make sure we had ample amounts and that, you know, they were going to be able to grow with us.
Yeah, they've been part of the journey this whole time, which is really cool. And Silky's, who's our baker, they've grown with us too. They added another baker because we got our second truck. And so to be able to have this journey with vendors and see that direct effect, you know, on their business has been so gratifying.
I get the B&B of Tennessee.
Just what this love can do.
The 12 South Market, they hold it every Tuesday, and you can't help but love the vibe there and love to see all these tents set up and this fresh produce, and it gets you in touch. You see it, that product, and you know it came just straight from that farm. Direct.
Delvin Farms is a great family farm. They're a huge farm that, like, is just doing it right. We get a lot of our produce from them. We like to pickle these for our pickled jalapeno relish. These are awesome.
You can see firsthand that you can live off of food that is being made in your area. For us, there's nothing more important than the way that we, you know, source our food. That's the path to, you know, great food.
We were gonna get a grilled cheese. We were gonna get a grilled cheese. Oh, that was good. Butter, bread, and cheese.
So that was a really impressive show of the symbiosis between farms and local restaurants. Let's go to Austin. Next up, we're going to visit Rigel and Polly. They have been working on a beautification project, doing a huge community mural with all local artists and, you know, people from the neighborhood.
We bought this house knowing that there was this cool mural possibility fence in the backyard. So we always had this idea of doing a mural. We went to town and did like a Croatian coastal scene. Yeah. And then, of course, Spanish. That one was cool because we got a bunch of elementary school students involved. I don't know exactly who came up with "Beauty Will Save the World." It's a Dostoevsky quote that I love and like a bunch of my friends love, and we just like emerged as what needed to go in here.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to define what beauty means to everybody else.
The underlying like hope is that this would be like a neighborhood project, and that really we're not hiring outside artists, we're getting people involved who live here.
And it was to see something hopeful too, like happening in the neighborhood.
My hope is that one day, like all the sections, there's probably 13 or 14 sections of 60-foot fence will be muralized. I feel like this fence is a metaphor for community.
because like it's messy and like it's gonna get stalled and it's not gonna turn out exactly with the vision that we had in the beginning. And I think that's beautiful. I've always thought of this as like a long-term project, and that's because I plan on living here.
Rigel would say he wants to die in this house.
Of old age.
Of old age.
Where are we going, Mark?
So, Rigel, big surprise, is part of a neighborhood association, and they have just acquired an abandoned city lot, and they're converting it into a neighborhood park.
And then it goes back up again. I mean, it goes back again that far.
Oh, amazing. This is 5 acres?
Yeah.
The city put up this money for us to buy this park. But as a neighborhood association, we wanted to latch onto the momentum to build community within our neighborhood.
This area is stigmatized as being a nuisance and a crime hotspot. It's going to take, I think we're going to probably have to go through some development before everybody's convinced that this is an asset.
How many dogs do you have?
3.
And we want to get them to the park, yes or no? Yes.
Butterfly!
I live 1 block over, and I'm looking forward to the development of this property to help reduce the crime rate in the area.
People want playscapes. They want shade. So maybe picnic pavilion. They want
drinking fountain.
Water.
I totally didn't even think about that, but it was like unanimous. It felt like.
Yes. Well, we went doing our survey in the summertime.
Yeah. I feel like my dream has been to feel like this neighborhood is my family. You're my people. And I don't know that everyone would say that who goes to a neighborhood meeting. We're doing something really special here.
Wow, Rigel was inspiring. Man, it really goes to show you with like a simple idea, like you can take it to your community and you can actually make a positive impact. Right now, Siobhan and I are driving from Austin to Marfa, Texas. Well, we just arrived in Marfa, and we're at the Tumble Inn, which is a little RV sort of trailer campground. It's windy and cold here, so cheers. Welcome to Marfa. Right now we're going to meet with Anne-Marie Nafziger, and she is an artist and started a program where volunteers come and read out loud to kids in school.
I'm Anne-Marie Nafziger, and I'm an artist. We're here in my studio in Marfa, Texas. I also do a lot of work for education folks, community outreach, things like that. And one of the things that I'm involved in here in Marfa is a program called Read Marfa. Folks from the community simply go in and they read for 30 minutes to small groups of students.
Pete the cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons.
My name's Oscar Whittle. I'm the principal of Marfa Schools in Marfa, Texas. We have a vision that says one team, one dream, excellence every day. And we start realizing that a big part of our team was not here, and that's the community. So just know, I'll be honest with you, there's good days, there's bad days, but any day you read to kids is a good day.
Kids need to be read to. They can comprehend at a much higher level than what they can read at. And a lot of the kids aren't getting read to.
How many buttons does he have?
4.
4. Are they all the same?
No.
No, what's different about them?
One is huge.
If you're not reading at a 3rd grade level by the time you're in 3rd grade, it just sets you up for so many challenges in terms of your education.
I think at the present moment we have 48 volunteers reading to approximately 160 kids, just a little bit every day. And just that little bit every day of reading is going to broaden their world so much. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But don't we cry? Goodness, no. We have this idea that we live in a small town because Marfa is a small town. But just looking around, you have the world here.
In addition to how it's improved vocabulary and discourse and all of those goals, the kids love it. And it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Bye, Lily. Bye. Bye, Aiden.
Bye.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Yeah.
Yes. The best part of the job.
So here we are checking in from, I think it's Rattlesnake Pass, on our way to Boise, Idaho. These guys, Randy and Caden, started this collaborative community space.
We are at Xanadu. The community decided to truncate it to the zoo, which is why we have the XU here, so yeah. Everybody needs space for art and creativity. And we decided, well, okay, we'll just open it up and let the community decide what happens with this space. We have a lot of hooping and fire dancing stuff. There's a lot of rehearsals that are actually happening in here for burlesque and theater. Then we have the shop.
The space is evolving over time. So it's been moved around a few times now. We're kind of organized into a metal shop area, a wood shop area, an electronics area.
The general concept was, let's provide a warehouse, a space to build in, some tools, and a building that has a few rooms for things like movement type of art. And from that, people have just come up with all kinds of cool concepts for things.
I do projects here, which I could do in my little workshop at home, but here I get to hang out with people and I have more space and it's a great place. It's an important place in Boise.
This is Jewel, the art car that started all of this.
These are all LEDs on these gemstones, and so there's this whole LED show that goes along with this, along with a very massive sound system.
There are railings that go up on the top, and there's a spot where a DJ can stand up there, and then this becomes a kind of a little mobile music platform. This piece here is a friend whose father recently passed away. Two human hearts being pressed together when they embrace. It's meant to be burned. When it burns, there's a hidden message in metal that's underneath that people will get to see when it burns.
The legs high over your head, and then there's a joint right here, a pivot joint, and so these were on poles, and you could have the puppeteer puppeteer each leg. Her name is Gertie, the Galactic Arachnid. This is Gertie's body. She's got a nice furry body that normally sits right here. I don't know why this is in here. This doesn't seem like part of it at all. I mean, this just seems like a total non sequitur. This is my 5th large-scale puppet that I built, but this is the first one I've done with Xanadu being around, and it has totally upped my game by so much. Just having a, first of all, designated space that's purpose is to create awesome art like Gertie the Galactic Arachnid is awesome. There's so much more strength in the diversity of skills and the incredible pool of labor and talent that work here and that want to just dive in and help with a project like Gertie. So.
The simple act of creating things is so amazing that more people should be involved in it, and that's why this space is important in communities. It catches fire.
Gassing up here at Joe's. Roasting coffee in Northridge. Boise was certainly inspiring. It really goes to show you that you can have like your community can really like be behind you in a not so traditional way. Next up, we're on our way to Chico, California.
Okay, Kenfield Community Gardens, also known as From the Ground Up Farms Gardens. Goes by a lot of names. We're sitting in the middle of what used to be an almond orchard. The land sat empty for a long time, ended up on Craigslist one day, and now ended up as ours. Then along comes Jenny Lowry and says,
what if we just grew a garden and gave all the food away? The kids are going to harvest all of these sweet potatoes and they're going to go on a trip and they're going to donate them at the homeless shelter themselves, the food that they grew. So we can't wait. Not only are we teaching them to grow the food, but we're teaching them how to give back to the community.
my favorite part about it is really none of this was planned.
Yeah. My favorite thing is just seeing how it's going and seeing it, all the gardening that they've done. It's so beautiful.
Lots of work, but gosh, how rewarding.
I ain't talking about for me.
The kids are the ticket, we think, because you know what, our generation, we kind of blew it, and so now we got to teach the kids how to do a better job, and I just can't think of a better way than start with healthy food.
That is the soft pick item sign, and if you see this, that means these items you're able to pick.
I come here probably at least 2 to 3 times a week and get to participate in the children's garden where they plant and cultivate and harvest their own food.
What are you planting? Broccoli.
They take such an interest in something so fundamentally important to their lives, and just to see them really dirty is really cute.
Right now, they're doing very well with their experimentation here, and what we're looking is what more can this space, in the time that it isn't being used, some of the facilities, how could it work towards the future?
I had a 4-year-old teach me how to make pesto a few weeks ago. This is the kids we're raising in Chico. It's amazing.
Now with the gardening group, we kind of just stand back and let them do their thing, and we just give them infrastructure to make them never want to leave.
What an amazing trip. Amazing people, amazing food, amazing ideas, amazing community. I mean, there's so much good going on that we are in control of in this country. With Ground Support USA, we want to seek these things out and share great ideas and encourage people to make a difference in their own communities. So tell us what you're up to. We'll come right over. Bring coffee.